Hey, this week's episode of One of a Kind with RVD is presented by Happy Hippo. Check it out.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds,
Rob Van Dam. Hey.
Ooh, yeah. Third time's a charm. We got it. Nailed it that time.
It was all blacked out before. Like,
Yeah.
It was like, what's going to happen? It's a dark, lights out. It's always
Lights out
spooky when
match.
I go out in the arena like that. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is RVD. Look at that. Yeah. We got a couple RVDs in the house right tonight.
RVD squishy to play with.
Heck
It's
yeah.
lovely. Is this your daddy squishy?
The attack dog getting it down.
Yeah.
And we're live on Rob Van Dam's YouTube channel and on rvdtv.com. So be sure to like, hit subscribe, whatever you got to do. Shout out to everybody in the chat here. Maddie's in the house. We got Triple E. We got Jem the Don's not here yet, but Melinda's in the house too. Some guy from Australia too. Shout out to Chillin' with the guitar on your crazy motherfucker.
Oh.
I love it. Rob, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good indeed. How's this working out, doing these shows on Mondays for you?
I don't mind it at all. I like it. How do you like it? Do you like this better?
I think I like it. I like that we have to do it and can't like push it off,
Because usually when we're Thursdays, we're like, do you want to do Thursday? We could wait if you want it. Let's see. And we punt it. Yeah. We push it over the weekend then.
Yeah. No, so far, let's hear from our trusty fans in the chat room. What do you think about the day of the week?
What day of the week would you guys prefer? Do you like Mondays? Let us know in chat.
Mr. Monday Night. I mean, it makes
Monday
sense.
Night. It does make sense. Candido fan himself says Mr. Monday Night. So,
Whoa. Yeah. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I guess, I was in San Jose, California.
Oh.
And part of the big hockey extravaganza, the Barracudas. Right. People know the Sharks, and they don't know the Barracudas, so I said maybe it's a junior league or something, but I stand corrected. It's more like a farming league. It's adults, the Barracudas, and that's their local guys that hope to get signed up as Sharks, I guess.
How was the experience doing that? Did you drop the puck and everything?
Awesome. Got to meet some really nice people. Had some really cool gifts like this one. A fan brought me big ass pre-roll, and I thought, what would be cool? I should smoke the gift on the air on my podcast so my fans know. But it didn't last that long though. So
really?
Had to smoke it already. But that was a couple doobies ago. But here's another doobie. It's that time. Smoke him if you got him. I'm personally not gonna wait, but it was cool. Met a lot of cool people. Dropped the puck to start the game. They roll a carpet out, and then this girl walked me out there at the carpet, and I have to show the puck towards the camera, and I drop it, and I thought as soon as it hit, like they were gonna go for it and stuff. And so I dropped it because they're posing like they're gonna do it. I dropped it, and they grabbed it and they handed it back to me, and they both just shook my hand.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's okay. That's not what I expected. And
when
I'm done, they said, "Yeah, you're done." And so I just walked off. But thinking about it, of course, they're not gonna go straight to playing. I'm out there first off. In their way. Plus, there's a big rolled out carpet sidewalk that someone's going to trip over, So, yeah, I guess I just didn't really think about it all the way through beforehand, or I might not have expected that.
Yeah, it's more ceremonial. Like, you drop the official puck, and it's almost like a coin toss thing in a way.
Yeah, I have it, but it's not in this room. I'm very not prepared for for that. I could have shown you the puck and you would have been impressed if I would have said, hey, because they did give it to me to keep. So I got my official Barracudas puck. But it's not within reach right now. So I kindly ask that y'all pretend that this grinder is a hockey puck so we can still experience the same joy.
That's it. Live vicariously through the grinder, everyone. You dropped the puck there.
Yeah, just like that.
Very nice. Very nice. Can you ice skate, Rob? Are you a good ice skater?
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I don't think I've done that since I was very young, a kid. I mean, we used to do that. That was the ponds would freeze over, and when you're in Michigan, that's what you do because it's so fucking cold there. You get a sled to slide down the hills and you skate on the ice, you know. But it's been so long, I can't imagine right now that I would be conditioned enough for that little tiny blade to not max out my shin muscles.
Yeah. I've never ice skated my entire life, so I don't know how it is for me.
The ice is very unforgiving, I'll tell you that.
I believe it. 100%.
Very stiff to be taking bumps, your elbows, everything. That little 2-inch condensed padding makes such a big difference when it comes to just points, you know, like elbows, knees, ankles, whatever sometimes has to take the impact, but it's not fun on the ice. I couldn't only imagine. Did you stay and watch the game, or what did you do after you dropped the puck? After I dropped the puck, it was time to head to the airport, and
there you go.
It was a rare booking where I leave and get home the same day, wake up in my bed, go to bed in my own bed, and still was able to do an appearance. It doesn't happen very often, so it was really nice. Amazingly, I didn't even get jet lagged normally the next day. My head's all foggy, and amazingly, this was not. Even though I had 2 flights in one day, it didn't affect me that way.
Wow, would you prefer that if, like, for most appearances, say like a 1-day kind of thing? Would that be kind of ideal for you if you're able to do it?
The thing is, you have to live in the town or live close enough to the town to do it. You know what I mean? Like that.
Right? Yeah.
Wrestlers that come out to the West Coast, like it's depending on who you work for, I guess. But we always knew it was harder for us because most of the wrestling shows were East Coast. Always have been. I don't know why, but when you're under contract and you're flying every week, like once every 3 months at the most, maybe even 4 months, they would come out to California or something and be like, yay, or Arizona, like, wow, I might, not have to leave the night before. Otherwise, if you got to be there at noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you usually got to leave the night before. So do you like red eyes so you can like wake up and start, wake up as if you really got good sleep on the airplane? Or would you rather sacrifice your whole day flying so you get in at a decent time so you can get a full night's sleep, before you work the next day? So it's where you live is a huge factor, the biggest factor when it comes to what you're saying. Of course, that'd be awesome if I go home every day. That's why, like, when you're a billionaire like Vince, you have a private jet, and then it doesn't matter. You don't got to worry about whether you can get out at night or whatever. After you're done working, you're like, see ya, losers.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I got 2 words for you. Fuck off.
Yep. Man. Did you ever fly on the private jet, Rob?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple of experiences on it.
Yeah. I bet that's I bet it's pretty nice.
The weirdest time was when I was the only one on it, like all by myself. Yeah. That was a favor, they were calling it. And it was me going and doing the music video for One of a Kind.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like hard to do because of the schedule, super busy, no time off. So they put me on the private jet so that I could make it there and back without, like I'm talking about, you have all the convenience in the world when you got that kind of leisure at your fingertips. So anyway, I just remember though, like my immune system was breaking down because I've been traveling so much. And I remember just like waking up and I was just like freezing, and it was just me and like the two pilots in the front. There was like nobody else on it. And I was like, this is so weird that it's so important for them that I get there, that they're flying me there. And who's the guy? Who's the guy that is Vince's right hand man? That's always been there. He's a straight guy, doesn't really associate with the boys a whole lot.
Was it Kevin Dunn? Not Kevin
Yeah,
Dunn.
Kevin
Right?
Dunn. Kevin
Oh,
Dunn.
was Kevin Dunn? Okay. Mm-hmm.
He said, you'll be doing a favor for me if you do this, because I tried to get out of it, and then as payback, they threw me a lug nuts shirt one time and said, hey, wear that out to the ring, and then you can take it off, do whatever you want, whether give it to a fan or whatever, just wear it to the ring and you get paid extra for it. And that was like my payback for the doing the music video.
Oh wow! So it was like a little sponsor thing, and like that you wore it. You got little.
Yeah, they used to do that in 2001 when I first got there. Lug nuts was we used to see them every week. I think Snickers might have been one of them too.
Oh, like the spot, like lugs, the shoes.
Is that? I guess that's what it is.
The
I'm
boots,
probably
lugs
wrong.
boots. Yeah,
Yeah.
lugs boots. I remember that. Yeah, those.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know you. I don't remember you
Yeah.
wearing the lug shirt at all. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and like I had too much fun shooting the video. You know, like once I started trying to make the guys laugh and shit when the camera was on their face and not mine,
Uh-huh.
I got way too carried away with it. And that became like the whole day. Would have been funny if it was a joke once or twice. You know, like, you know, but instead it was like every time I'd sit down because they weren't picking up our lines. It was music, so we're having a bullshit conversation.
Yeah.
There was no lines or whatever, so I would just try to make them down. You know, I just sit down and be like, "Do you guys think it's weird when people put pineapple on pizza?"
Huh? What do you guys think about it? Like,
I'm supposed to be talking about whose car is that out there? You know, challenging them for a race because there's a car out there. Like,
yeah.
you're gonna get that off of my pantomiming? Like, can I get an actor stand in here?
Right, yeah. Can I get a stand-in, please?
Yeah.
So you interacted with the band Breaking Point and all that stuff, doing the music video and stuff. How were those guys to get along with it? Were they
They were
wrestling
super
fans?
cool. They were
Yeah.
super cool. Yeah, I thought that the song was just picked for me, like
Mhm.
that they had released a few new songs and someone owed someone a favor or whatever, and they said, "Hey, that one, that'll go for it." And they told me no, it was written for me, and I was surprised. I get the one of a kind, which was said a lot, but maybe not said as much before the song. I really can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was more of the other words, you know, when I see the fear that I see when I look in your eyes, like all that stuff didn't seem like that was probably about me. So I just assumed it was a song that they wrote and was given to me. And they were like, no, that was our assignment. You know, was to come up with a song for you. And then that was it, man. You like it? And I was like, oh yeah. One of a kind.
Yeah, that's great. So like I didn't actually know that was specifically written for you. I thought it was like a song that they did and then they adapted it for you, like more so. So, but that's awesome.
According to Breaking Point, first-hand information.
How about that? It's a little inside info regarding one of the themes for sure. Fellas, you already know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew has dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt, gold-plated energy. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the number one chewable ED brand. It ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. No. This is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it on and quicker and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. This is peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet. So, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off the first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RVD. That's promo code RVD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Shout out to everybody tuning in, Triple E and Maddie, Candido fan, Melinda Wilkinson. She asked if you watched the Royal Rumble on Saturday. Did you catch any of it at all, Rob?
No, I didn't see any of it. I saw a clip or two on social media. I saw Brock go in and suplex a couple people.
Yeah, he was only in there for a short amount of time, and like his elimination was kind of like like not that big of a deal. Like it kind of like they didn't put too much of a focus on it. It was kind of strange. It was just like, oh, I think Brock's coming over for the Saudi Arabia appearance because Saudi Arabia wants him there, and there he is. He's part of the Rumble, and there he's done. I think that's kind of how they
threw him out.
I think it was like a group effort. Like I think maybe Cody and somebody together threw him out, if I'm not mistaken. Cody and somebody else, I think, together threw him out. But
okay,
yeah, yeah. What else was I going to tell you about the Rumble though? There was something went on.
I saw the attendance looked. It looked like maybe somebody bought a few sections of seats and didn't care if they showed up or not.
That's kind of what it looked like. And I don't know how much of it, because apparently each seat had a light and it like washed everybody out. Like, I think there was people actually in the seats, but it looked really empty.
Oh,
because there was like lights in front of, like, for some reason they put lights in front of each seat. So it like didn't look like that was, so I think it was more filled than it actually was, but I could be wrong at that too. I'm not too positive on it.
I just thought of, like they got so much money out there, and that's always the subject right now is like, hey, are they selling out? Like we're giving up some quality of fans' entertainment just for the dollar and this and that. And just had a conversation yesterday with somebody, and it's like you can't argue with success. And it just made me think in Japan, often it would be like that, especially for other companies where the Yakuza was a bigger part of the company. Like with All Japan and New Japan, they're bigger draws. And I'm not saying they didn't mess with the Japanese mafia, but they would have been the least controlled by it as far as, just by their own size and success and popularity and mainstream status. So some of the other groups, FMW, for instance, some of those, I always heard that sometimes the crowds would be like almost empty. They'd be like one little family of like 4 or 5 people on each side or something sometimes. And they just go out there and they play to those people because, they bought tickets, but it's like something that they do. They're able to do it. They're powerful enough, have the access to make that happen, and it's really a win-win unless you really counted on selling a lot of merchandise and hot dogs.
Right? Yeah. No, because I mean, if they front the paycheck and like they're covering everything, and it's just like, why not? Like they kind of do that stuff, especially if you're a business and you're really trying to make the money off of it, then it makes a lot of sense. I used to be. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, every once in a while you hear about a celebrity, fucking whoever, I don't know, John Travolta bought a big section of the stands in the base at the baseball games so he could not be bothered and sit alone, or Madonna, someone like that. Like for them, it's probably was prospectively, it's probably their 10 grand is like someone else's dollar, and so they're like, why not? That's what money's for, is to make my quality of life better. So fuck off, everybody. These are my seats.
Right. I'm sitting here. Nobody else is.
By the way, in WWE, when you become champion, then you get first class if you didn't get it before. That's the big secret that I found out when I had the belt. No one told me that ever in my career. And then when it happened, I'm asking like Ray, and he's like, yeah, same thing with me. Like I had no idea, and all of a sudden, and sometimes someone will go and sit there like right next to you, and it's
Really?
like, excuse me, that's my seat, and they're like, you bought 2 seats, and it's like, try a little harder, maybe you'll be world champion someday.
Yeah, that seat's for my title that I won. So
Yeah.
you have to fucking move.
And with Ray, he said, since he's so small, sometimes they would kind of give him an attitude like, oh, like you need 2 seats. You're not he's not the big show, but it's like they would pay. What it was they pay, you first class, and if first class isn't available because there's no first class on the airplane because some of them are too small, then you get 2 seats.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's
would you have had
closest I've come to being Madonna?
Did you ever prefer would you have wanted to have like a tour bus to travel in, like Big Show or Randy Orton or Cody? Here they always have them and stuff like that. Would that have been something you'd like to do, or did you like kind of like the locker room camaraderie kind of going on at the same time? I know.
No, and no. I don't know. Yeah, that's I think the fact that it would take so much longer to get there, and it's dangerous. You know what I mean? Like I've woke up on some of those. I rode with Big Show a couple times, and I'm sleeping in the middle of the night. You wake up, and you're like, "Oh my God, we're going 80 miles down the fucking highway at 3 a.m. I hope the driver's awake. Maybe I should go check on him. What if he's falling asleep right now?" And like how how much would that change today if we fucking swerved over or someone swerved into us? And it's way more dangerous. It takes way longer. But flying sucks. It's stressful going through the airport and dealing with everything you got to deal with and giving up your privacy and everything. So it definitely has pros and cons. I don't think it would have weighed out in my favor for me to prefer doing that, though. Just like right now, like if someone says, we should drive across the country, man, and go, it's like, no. I'll get the flight to see you there. It does not sound like a good time to me.
Yeah. What do you think of the aspect that it takes away from kind of I guess the team environment going on between the locker room and people learning from one another? I guess I hear that a lot.
You learn shit out of an airplane.
Yeah.
You don't talk to each other on an airplane anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a charter jet, like you go into the UK and it's just a WWE jet and you're just all partying or whatever. Otherwise, it's like this. Oh, hey, Kevin.
Yeah, that's it then.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
There ain't no camaraderie going on an airplane. Everyone's sleeping, doing their own thing.
Right. Was the plane ride from hell really the craziest flight you ever been on, or was there a different flight that was even nuttier than that?
Oh, I think that probably was, to my experience, probably the craziest because I can't think of another one that would top that. Just the sound of grown men running full speed down the fucking aisle. That's something you don't normally hear, Yeah. It really stands out.
I bet.
That was Brock chasing Kurt.
Yeah. That's crazy. Did Kurt get the best of him in that? I forget.
I don't know.
Yeah.
From what I remember, he kept fucking with Brock. I think Brock was trying to sleep and Kurt was putting shaving cream on his head and then splatting it, and that's what I remember, something like that. And Brock chasing him, and we caught up to him and just fucking boom, slammed into the door. And that was
right.
Yeah, that was a scary.
Because I remember hearing about the door thing aspect of it. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard X-Pac, I've heard him talk about it afterwards and say, it would never open up with the pressure in the cabin at 35,000 feet. Like there's nothing to worry about. Dude, that is not what's going through my mind when these dudes are. Brock is fucking suplexing.
What is fucking Brock Lesnar doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my money's on Brock.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I couldn't imagine that. Like Brock is like he's like 22 at the time or something like that too. He's not that old. It's just like, oh man, getting like ribbed by Kurt Hennig at that point too. It's just
Kurt just was a nonstop ribber. That's what kept him going, you know.
Yeah.
That was his weed, you know.
That was his weed, huh? Yeah. Just doing shit like that.
One time, I remember Mike Chioda was saying that Mike Chioda rode with like R-Truth and who else would he ride with? Damn, I was just thinking about him. Anyway, Trevor Murdoch somehow is in that clique. And when he was either new-ish or maybe we just ended up on the same show because you switch around from Raw to SmackDown or whatever. But they were saying at the time, I can't remember who else. There was someone else besides Chioda I was talking to, but they were saying that that Trevor with weed, they were saying that he acted like it was crack. You know, and like they're saying that like when he would land, he was like, "Oh my God, dude, what am I gonna do? We gotta get some weed. You know, what are we gonna do, man?" And the reason they told me was because they said that Trevor said to them, you know, I'm gonna ask RVD, man. I bet RVD's got some weed. And Chioda was like, he said that he was like, "No, don't do that." And he was like, "Don't fuck with RVD. That's like his go juice. That's just like he just." That's just something he does, and it makes him go. He doesn't fucking bring extra to share. He doesn't crack out on it like that. And fucking don't do it. Don't ask him. And I can't remember if he did ask me or not. I just remember Chioda coming up and telling me that story.
Did you get asked a lot for weed, Rob?
No.
Like by other? No. Yeah. Okay.
No, you know, people take care of themselves, and then especially – doing my returns, you know, then the pens were around, and pens were a total game changer. You know, anybody can medicate anywhere, and chances are no one's going to even ask them, like, "Excuse me, sir, is that cannabis or is that nicotine?"
You're right.
Like it's either no vaping at all or leave you alone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nobody's like trying to employ like, "Hey, what are you smoking in there exactly?"
No.
You know. Maddie adds, "I doubt anyone would cut RVD's ponytail." What happened with Michael Hayes?
Just took like 3 inches off it, by the way, Maddie.
Oh, like, did you? Wow.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like every once in a while, it gets too long and I get it cut. Like people ask me sometimes, like, "How long's it been since you cut your hair?" And it's like, I mean, now a week, but you know, like I probably do that every maybe 6 or 7 months or something, maybe a little longer, something like that. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't care either way. It just gets a little too long to where it's a pain in the ass sometimes.
Right. So, yeah. I haven't had to worry about that in probably like 12 years. So, let me see here. Maddie had another super chat here. He said,
one of my first jokes when I started going up on stage is this girl said, "How long have you been growing your hair?" I was like, "My whole life." What kind of fucking question is that?
Yeah, I didn't stop at one point. It's always growing. Maddie asked, "Did RVD ever pass Vince the doobie or suggest one?" Hey Rob, give me a light of that.
Hey,
pal.
No, I never passed him one. I don't. The closest I remember. No, I don't know if I ever suggested one in a joke. I feel like I might have, but nothing really stands out except a lot of people saw me giving Vince some rolling papers right at the Hall of Fame or whatever, and he popped. went tournaments, rolling papers, but that would be the closest that I can remember.
Yeah, yeah. Who made Vince laugh the most, you think, out of the locker room when you were there? Was there somebody that he kind of...
It's not like when you're in school and there's a big class and everyone's in the same room together with the teacher.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Except when we had meetings.
Yeah, except when they had meetings.
Sometimes we would have meetings, and that was usually something that would come around for a while, weekly meetings, then it would stop for several months. Then we're going to start having them again. It was like, it's always been sporadically applied to the schedule when it comes to meetings and stuff. And other than that, it's usually a one-on-one situation, or there might be 3 or 4 people around. So I really don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people knew him differently than I knew him, and because of that, I can't even imagine, who he enjoyed being around or joking with, or I don't know. Yeah.
When it came to the meetings, was it more like a locker room kind of motivation, like Heyman kind of did, or was it more so business and this is what we have to focus on and worry about kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, it was more agenda driven. There would be a few points that we got to talk about. We're going to start doing the dress code. Guys are looking like shit, looking like you just got done working out and embarrassing us on flights or in restaurants or whatever. Guys are showing up too late. We're going to start fining. If you're not here by 1 o'clock, it's a $500 fine. If you're not here by 3, it's this. We're going to start doing that. It's Mickey J's job to Mickey James. Sorry, Mickey J. I love Mickey J. Mickey James' job to write down what time you get in and stuff. Don't be mad at him if he's stooging. It's his fucking job. Stuff like that, we're going to start doing this. We need less of this, more of this.
Yeah.
We need you guys showing up to work out. We're going to start suggesting you guys get here early and get in the ring and work out. If you're young, get in there and learn whatever you can. If you're a veteran, pay it back. Get in there and teach a little something. And if that didn't work, the next meeting was we're going to start putting you down on a list. If you're a veteran, if you see your name on a list, that's that we expect you to show up there. And if your name's on the list and you probably won't be, all the time, we'll give you a break after you do it. So don't worry about it. And then it could go into a private meeting. Like, how come you're not showing up? Your name's on the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it was more so like, hey, this is for everybody. We're not signaling anybody out here in particular. But then if it didn't work, then you get called in and be like, hey, man, what the fuck? What's going on?
Very, very much classroom like in those meetings. Very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Even
Do you think a lot of those?
Who do I sit by? Yeah.
Do you think a lot of those were like warranted, or were they more so like them kind of just taking control more so of the aspect of like, hey, like, we're letting everybody kind of run loose a little bit. Like, do you think what they were doing made sense to do? Like when it happened a lot of the time, having those meetings.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Curious. Interesting. Maddie mentioned
By the way, something comes to mind. When I was with TNA, I wish they would have done a little bit more of that, just so I could have understood a little more of what they wanted out of their talent. I remember one time watching the monitor, and I was watching something, and it was something, that people like me that have been around a while point out because it's changed. And I said something, and Scott Demore was actually standing like right there. And I said to Scott, do you, like, if I see something, do you want me to tell the young guys, if I have like advice for them, or would you rather me just like do my thing and not bother them at all or whatever? And he didn't answer me. And so I figured that meant just worry about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
No, that seems like.
But if those meetings, you know, where you talk about shit like that, you get everything out in the open, and then everybody knows, you know, what page to be on.
Yeah,
right?
everybody's on the same page, and like there's a certain goal oriented that everybody has. Like, okay, well, this is what we're looking to do, and this is what we're looking to convey or execute on television in a lot of ways. Makes a lot of sense.
He was too distracted by the fact that I was drinking. Big deal.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one. But next day, D'Lo Brown said, and this is the first time I'd ever had White Claw. I didn't even know what it was. Someone told me.
Oh,
yeah.
They had White Claw back then? Or was this 2021? This was 2021, right?
Yeah, this was recently, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they had it on the show. This one we during COVID when we were in Nashville.
Yeah.
And doing shows in front of nobody. And I went to the store and there was some, and I was done. And my back was hurting and I wanted to drink. And so I was drinking that. And I don't know why, but he seemed totally distracted like from that instead of my question. And the next day, D'Lo Brown said, Rob, I got to have a talk with you. And he's like, you can't be drinking 50 White Claws during a TV taping. And like literally, I don't want to mention any names, but literally the person, while he's telling me this, the wife of one of the wife, how much can I go? Let's say a wife and husband wrestling team that's been there for a long time was right there consuming alcohol at the time. And I was just like, well, how ironic. But I didn't say anything because I don't want to get nobody else in trouble. And I wasn't in trouble anyway. It's not like they're going to give a fuck. But someone did tell him to say something to me, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of weird, though. It's just like, you know, yeah, who cares? You're an adult. It's not like you're impeding anything in the match or, you know, I don't know. I think there'd be more important things to worry about than that. But
that was maybe the only time they ever gave me any idea of what they wanted from me. At least that's how I feel. Yeah.
Right. And like you think that just be a little more structure. And like, even if in that small environment of TNA or whatever, if you have some sort of like agenda or structure kind of going on, things run a lot smoother. It just happens with a team environment like that, even in pro wrestling, I'd imagine, right?
But it's like, for me, it's always been like, okay, the young guys do things different. Does the administration see that as a bad thing, or do they not care and just see it as the way the business has changed? And the answer to that would be real important if my position was to somehow enforce my knowledge or, just offer advice, counsel, fucking open my mouth. You know what I mean? Anything like that. Because I don't know. Maybe they don't care about the things that sometimes seem to drive me nuts,
Would you have felt like, say if Scott or whoever might have been in TNA would have been like, hey Rob, would you mind kind of hanging out and like giving some feedback to a lot of the different younger wrestlers that are having like, whether they're in the next division or they're just kind of starting off, would you mind just covering that, like giving that part of the responsibility while you're at TNA? Would that have been something you'd have been up for doing like on a consistent basis?
We could have that conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See? Yeah, that would have been cool. People learning shit.
Maybe. I mean, that's not necessarily like a goal or anything, but definitely could have that conversation and see what comes of it. You never know. Like sometimes if you show someone a little bit of respect, then shine a little light on an area that that wasn't previously looked at as a strength, and guess what? Like, boom, here's if you want to look at it that way, here's something I got to offer we ain't never talked about before.
Yeah. How often when younger wrestlers ask for your feedback or anything to that, do they actually heed your advice? Do you find them more often they heed your advice, or that a lot of the times you hear that they don't listen to sometimes?
I don't think I give a lot of advice really. And and if I do, I don't really think I'm in a position that's ongoing where I could see how my words have been applied in the long run to anybody, because, it's usually going to be something like, hey, if you get a chance to see my match,
Yeah.
And then usually I won't get a chance to see their match. And if I do, and I found something, and it's, then I'll tell them, dude, just something really, really small, but I think it's going to make a big difference. Hear me out. Like boom, how this happened. And then I don't know afterwards what, that's up to them.
Yeah, especially too if you're just there for like an appearance or something, and then you're not there the next week or the next month or whatever it may be. It's just like you don't know if they actually take your advice or not sometimes. Yeah, I guess that's part of it too.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I have had some of the young guys from that time period tell me that they really learned a lot working with me and shit. And to that, I don't know if it was me giving them advice or just being in the ring with them. But, some of the guys that I worked with, both runs in TNA, I can think about. I've had some of them tell me that they're real appreciative and they learned so much from me that they considered me like one of their real important, pivotal parts of their career where they learned a lot. And I had no idea, sometimes I have no idea. And other times I know I really spent a lot of time and that's great that it's acknowledged. But, that happens. Sometimes you don't know unless somebody tells you, but I'm definitely not someone to offer up unwanted advice too often.
Right, yeah. It's like I figure a lot of times, like I could only imagine some wrestlers just come up to you like, "Hey, could you watch my match or give me feedback or whatever it may be?" But like, yeah, I could also certainly understand like from your point of view, just like you're not going to go out of your way and like, "Hey, here's what you need to do" or anything like that at the same time.
I mean, if I think that it'll be received well, and I think it's something that would really help them a lot, I might decide, to hit him with it. I don't know, but yeah, for the most part, some of the stuff that we always talk about, they gotta know.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff like that we talk about over and over and over about the way that it's changed. They don't want to change, or they don't want to be more like we were. They're fine with being how they are now, and they're getting paid for it. So, it doesn't even seem proper for me to stick my head in and say, no, fuck what you're doing now. This is how we used to do it, like who the fuck
Yeah, no, it is such a weird thing because it's like, and you even look at it from like the generation before you and stuff like that. I'm sure the old timers in certain ways felt the same way about like the newer kind of, oh, they're going to do their thing. And this is the way we used to do it back then. But like a lot of the times too, I always find it like, if the younger wrestlers did pay attention to a lot of what the old timers used to do or the generation before them used to do, they would be like something new in the new era, because it's just like nobody's doing that. Like nobody is heeding a lot of that advice. So if like, I'm just going to say a high flyer, like ends up like slowing it down and doing the little details that we were talking about last week, that would make them stand out way more than, anybody else on the roster sometimes, depending on how they handle it. So
probably so. By the way, I'm sure I mentioned this before, but I don't know if everyone listening knows this, but I started wrestling for All Japan Pro Wrestling in February of '93. And that was a big part of my job until '99 when Giant Baba died. And then I wrestled afterwards for Mrs. Baba, and then went to all the other companies in Japan. I've been in Japan 22 times, maybe 23. But what I wanted to say was, when I first started out, Stan Hansen was the old timer, which is funny to me now, because now that I'm 55, he was probably my age maybe even 50. I don't know, but he definitely seemed old, and he talked like he was old. And he would say like, "Oh, all you young kids coming in here and changing the business, killing the business." And he would always give me shit and say that they were killing the business, and he would always say that I didn't belong in the business. And
wow.
Yeah, we developed a relationship, and like I knew that he liked me, but it was like really tough love, and he did not like the high flying shit at all, because he looked at that the way that I look at the way they do it now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he thought that seemed unbelievable, although he learned that I was getting that shit in whether he wanted me to or not. And he learned that I wrestled him. And then it changed his perspective. And he was like, I've never seen it from there before. Like, you were there kicking me, and then you just, boom, you disappeared. I didn't know. And anyway, I said, man, and you used to tell me that I didn't belong in the business. He said, well, you didn't, but you do now. And yeah, that was one of the circles of escalation in my career, was going through the Stan Hansen years from 93 to it was probably 98 or so, maybe, when I wrestled him. And then he said that I always would think about that. I would always think about, because I was doing moves that other people weren't doing and we hadn't seen done before, and flips and stuff like that. And it always bothered me that he saw that as me killing the business. But then now when I see some of the other younger guys as killed the business, I don't even know if there's a heartbeat to it, but when I look at that, then it makes me stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm the guy saying, get off my fucking lawn or whatever. But it's so different because I was old school and compatible and could be in there with him. And that's what brought him around, was that he didn't realize that just watching it, I guess. I don't know. Because I'd be in there with the young boys and stuff, usually on his side, hardly ever like against him, if ever, until that time. But anyway, blah blah blah. Just a story about I do. So because of that, though, honestly, I've always felt like prospectively, one could say, especially if one was Stan Hansen, could say that RVD was partially responsible for the way that the business has gone away from its foundation of big men grabbing each other and like in Stan Hansen's day, like one could say that I'm partially responsible for bringing it where it is now, for better or worse.
I think one could say that, but one could also say that things overall, like wrestling schools opened up where the people weren't properly trained. And like you were saying too, like we've said this before, is like the video game element coming into play and like kids and everybody watching that and being like, oh, I want to do all that stuff and make all that happen. So, I mean, like, sure, you introduced a lot of those move sets and certain, like a certain style that provided that. But like we always talk about, you had that core foundation that like Sheik taught you and Sabu taught you and etc. So it's like you had that there.
Right. But that's the thing, is all these people, whether they're making video games or whether they're becoming pro wrestlers themselves or whether they're teaching at wrestling schools, they grew up watching me.
Sure.
Not just me, but me and, Sabu and X-Pac and Jerry Lynn and just guys that were, the high flyers. And they took what interested them from watching us without having that hardcore foundation that I got from the Sheik. I wasn't able to teach them that. They just saw some shit and copied it. were inspired by it. That's a better way to. Well, either way.
Yeah, I would say that they want to do that stuff, but like the school that they went to or who taught them or how they kind of did, they didn't get that. And that's where like, so one could say that you did it, like you were partially for it, but I would mostly put the onus on them learning it from maybe not a great teacher or something like that, or them not further going, I guess, learning the basics, the 101.
Stan Hansen on the line right now.
Let's get him up on here.
That motherfucker.
That's it.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
Okay.
Stan Hansen. What a character Stan was too. It's just like
he was a big part of mentoring me in those early All Japan tours. I was so crazy young. So I started going to All Japan in February of '93.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 months after my 22nd birthday. So I mean, I've been drinking for a year legally. I'm just a baby. Yeah. And I always say this too. One thing I always heard my whole life was, younger years was always like, grow up. And I used to always think nothing of it. But now I feel like I was very immature. Like when I think about my first, I don't know, 10 years, like in WWE, it seems like I was so young, like traveling around with Booker T. And I think about the conversations we had and just my mindset, the perspective I was in, and what I didn't know about life. And it's like, it's crazy to think like that Booker was already a grown adult. He already had kids, been married and divorced. He had all this life experience. And we were, really tight, like best friends. And when I think of that mindset compared to where I'm at now, I feel like I was like 18 years old.
I bet, right? Like it is. It's quite shocking to kind of like think back and see like, wow, yeah, my head was in a completely different space at that point in time than what it was,
Yeah.
But like you said, and like we talked about before too, it's just like you want to be changing and adapting and growing as you get older. If that's not the case, then you're doing something wrong, right? So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't look back and see a lesser you and cringe, then you ain't growing.
You ain't growing, right?
Yeah.
HW Crypt Keeper, thanks for chiming in. He says Stan is 76. Wow, 76 years old.
Wow, I saw him last year when we were in Arlington or Dallas, whatever, Fort Worth. They're the same.
Yeah.
They're all like right there. So whatever. But there was a convention there. Was it WrestleCon? No. Anyway,
in Arlington? Yeah.
Or Fort Worth. It was something. That we were all at, and Bobby Duncan Jr.'s wife and daughter came out, and then they wanted to see Stan because Stan was really tight with Bobby. He was really tight with Bobby's dad, and he tagged with Bobby's dad, and then he took Bobby Jr. under his wing, anyway, they really wanted to see him, and I was like, I just saw him. Hold on, and I like ran Stan, and we all got to talk for a little while and stuff, and it was good seeing Stan. He was always. I just think like I was like so young. I remember asking him like a kid, like I was having problems dealing with how many partners the girl that I was seeing at the time. And I remember asking him, like how many is too many, and it's just like, just to think that my mind would be in a position where I would ask somebody that and feel, like their answer is the right one, or
right.
It just makes me feel like I was 16 when I was talking to Stan. That was way before Booker even.
Right. Yeah.
So young. Well, to ask him that, to have that kind of conversation with him, and but yeah, like I said, he liked me, but always felt like he had to teach me something in the ring by hurting me.
by loving you with a lariat.
Yeah.
With his glasses off, nonetheless.
Yeah, his partner standing on the apron, and he wanted to like whip me one time for no reason. You know, like, wow, what the hell was that?
God. I gotta share with you. There's a channel on YouTube, Roy Lassier. He's been posting a lot of All Japan stuff around the time that you were almost maybe there or there. Like, so, because like 91, 93, maybe some of the matches are. And I'm like, I should share this channel with Rob. I haven't watched any of it, but there's a couple of it looks pretty interesting. Some All Japan. I saw Baba there and stuff like that. So, pretty neat thing to check out.
I don't need to watch young RVD wrestle.
No, you don't want to watch on you.
No, thank you.
No, not your cup of tea, huh?
I'm good.
You're good. Hey, everybody. Guess what? I'm a guy that loves Valentine's Day, and that's a shoot. I legitimately love Valentine's Day. It's a weird thing. I like the Valentine's Day cards. I like creating the funny puns, and I remember the X-Men Valentine's Day cards way back when I was a kid. So big fan of Valentine's Day. And what more to be happy about Valentine's Day when love is in the air, right? You get nervous about a first date? Is that something that happens? Huh? Everybody's got the nerves. You know, that means you care when you go on a first date. Well, you got to care that you don't want to stink. And you don't want love to stink. What can help you out? But Mando. Boom. Yes, 100%. I recommend the Mount Fuji. You get the Mount Fuji Mando stick, deodorant stick, but you get the spray. The spray is a necessity in a lot of times. It makes you smell like an adult, and you'll feel confident going on that very first date with maybe, hey, potentially that special someone. Give them a funny, punny Valentine's Day card as well. So, some men mask their BO with sense. Mando Men gets the job done right. Don't mask it, Mando it. Available in real retailers near you. Or head to shopmando.com because for a limited time, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code RUMOR at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide, plus free shipping. That's right, shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness on Valentine's Day. Okay. Let me see. Oh, yes, Maddie brought this Soul Ruca and the Soul Snatcher. That's a great.
Yeah. When people ask me who's my favorite wrestler, sometimes I say her. I say I could come up with a different answer if you ask me in a different time. It's not something I feel super strong about, but I was trying to come up with her name, Soul Ruca, and like, man, she gets it in a world where you can't stand out anymore by being more acrobatic, because everyone's doing everything, but then she still finds a way to be different in that world, and it's just like, and being extra impressive with doing the moves that that are just incredible, and like she's definitely one to watch. And I said that this weekend when I was asked, but then afterwards when I was thinking about it, if I do have one answer that's a more of a solid answer though, probably Brock.
Oh, Brock he's just on another level. Like I even said this too when I watched the Rumble and I gave like feedback about it. I was like, he completely changes the dynamic of any match that he's a part of. Like, it's just like, if Brock Lesnar's involved, that's a presence that's unlike anything else.
It's true. Yeah.
It's true.
He's probably my favorite overall. I'm always going to be interested in what he's doing.
I saw the clip of him fighting Frank Mir, like he's making his debut UFC fight. And like, I didn't know that he only lasted like 90 seconds in the fight until Frank got a hold of his leg and tapped him out. But I was like, dude, what a freaking performance even early on. He was just laying into Frank earlier on, and then Frank got
hammering him.
He was hammering him. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, I became a huge fan of Frank Mir's that night watching that. Like he always looked so confident, even though Brock was like swinging cinder blocks at him,
he was loving him.
and he's just like calm, like like he's chewing gum or something, and just waiting for his moment. And then as soon as he got the fucking knee bar on, he just fucking wouldn't let go and tapped. And I was like, I was like, at that point, I didn't think anybody would be able to beat Brock. I was like, dude, he's going all the way. He's staying on top. You know, he's an alien, some shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, we got to also throw in there that Brock got him in the rematch.
He did get him in the rematch, and then Brock was just dominant. One of the best like UFC fighters there ever was after that fact, you know?
Big fan of Frank Mir's, though.
Yeah. Much respect to that for sure. Yeah. For be able to take those hits and then just keep your composure enough and be like, change your strategy where like I'm gonna grab his leg and then lock him into this, and that's how I got him. It's impressive shit.
I did a signing that Frank Mir was at like it seemed like it was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. But while I'm talking to him, I thought he was Mark Jindrak.
Oh, did you? That's great.
Could you see that?
Like, I definitely could see that. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it was like I looked at him and it was like I knew that I knew him, and I hadn't seen Jindrak in years, and I was just like, hey, fuck, I ain't seen you in a long time, you know, and talking about shit. And he was looking, you know, extra jacked too. And then and then I walked away and then realized who it was, you know, and I came back to him. I'm like, dude, I'm a dumbass. I thought you were the Saudi dude. Like, hey, Frank, good to meet you. I'm a big fan. You know?
That's great.
He was cool both times, but I never noticed that before. But apparently, Jindrak and Frank Mir look similar.
They do. When you mention it, yeah. Now I can see them both, and it's like, yeah, they do look a lot alike. I just saw Mark Jindrak on Facebook. He mentioned that his daughter got baptized by the luchador priest that was based off of Nacho Libre.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's
Fran Tormenta, I think the priest wrestler's name is or whatever. But so
it's a small world.
Small world. I just saw him today on there. So how about that? But Sol Ruca, I think she not only can she do those great moves, but I said this yesterday too, that she's got that like unique, almost classic model look to her, you know, like from the 1980s or 90s, almost like the Cindy Crawford, Farrah Fawcett vibe to her, and that really makes her stand out too. I think, you know,
definitely one to watch for
one to watch. Yeah. Devin says I was just on Raw. I don't know if I was. I know Marcus, my brother, made a little appearance.
Oh, they saw it. That's funny.
Yeah. So I'll have to keep my eyes peeled. Maybe I have a doppelganger besides my brother.
Did you get suplexed or anything?
I don't know. I'm excited to watch. Like, I don't want to ruin it for myself. I want to watch it, and I was like, I hope he gets beat up. We'll have to see, though. We'll have to see. Let me see here. Trying to see anything else, chats. Booker T on commentary is the number one reason I enjoy watching NXT. I can dig that. I like Booker T on commentary too.
Is he always the guy?
He's always the guy on NXT. He gets some criticism. Some people don't like him as a commentator and stuff like that, but he adds a different flavor than anybody else. And I think he's such a legend that it's cool to have him a part of that, you know? So
yeah,
I always dig
cool.
Booker T. Somebody earlier on did say that we should get the Godfather on the show.
Yeah.
He'd be a good one. Mm-hmm.
I know. I definitely do plan on having him.
Yeah. He'd be a great one. He'd be a great one for sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm waiting for something before that, so it's not just random that I haven't had him yet.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But like hopefully in the next couple months.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be sweet. I know I've never interacted with him, I don't think, ever before. So I hear how great of a guy he is too. So that's
I usually recommend him like after I get booked somewhere and they're trying to like this hockey game that I just did. Booker T did it last year.
Yeah.
Cuda Mania for the San Jose Barracudas, and it's a big fun day. And Booker did it, and then so I did it this year. And I just said to him, I don't know if we talked about Godfather, but he's here in town. You know, he traveled too, and he's like someone that's been around way longer than me, even. But what was I going to say about Godfather?
I mentioned how he
I'm
seems
sorry.
like a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he lives not too far from me, and I'm gonna have him here. My brain just went two different ways because one, I wanted to tell you about the time that we met. It was really romantic.
Ooh.
It was a blind date, and
Ooh.
we were set up by everybody that we knew. 'Cause all the wrestlers kept saying, like, dude, you haven't met Godfather? Are you serious? You two would love each other, man. He loves weed like you do. And everybody was saying that to both of us for a while before we finally were at a SmackDown show together and went out in a car and smoked together. And they're right. He's awesome. He's a cool dude. The other thing that I was thinking about, and I know you know this too, but that he worked with the mobsters when they were here in Las Vegas at Crazy Horse 2, I guess the last really well-known spot for the mafia activity, because they had to sell that place and off and everything, and now it's the whole building is down. It's been raised or whatever, caught fire a couple times, and anyway, he worked there with a bunch of guys that got in trouble for what they were doing there.
Yeah. Man, what a fascinating character he is too. You think about all the gimmicks he's been through, like as Papa Shango and Godfather and Kama, the Supreme Fight Machine, and then the Good Father. Yeah,
was he a Soul Taker or was that someone else? I think that was him.
I don't know. Soul Taker?
Yeah.
Was that in a different company in WWE? Because it might have been then, if that was the case. Because I don't remember.
Who was the pro wrestler Soul Taker?
The Soul Taker is a professional wrestling persona used by Charles Wright in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Would you like to know more about his wrestling career?
In the early no, shut up. In the early 80s when I was in like 5th grade.
Oh, okay. So he was. That was.
I was in 5th grade.
Thanks for the clarification.
Why do I gotta sing in music class? I'm not gonna be a singer.
I'm not singing.
Yeah.
That's great.
You step on my blue suede shoes. You can't do anything. Stay off my blue suede shoes. That's me in choir or music class.
That is funny that they make kids do that kind of stuff. Oh, you have to do this and you had to do that. Because like I think like when I went to public school, like I signed up for choir because I wanted to do it. Like, but like I don't think I had to do it. Like it's kind of weird.
I mean, yeah, it's like I guess their idea is you give kids a little taste of everything in life, and then force them to participate in everything to find out what they might have an affinity towards. So, I don't care. You're going to play soccer. It's soccer season. Yeah. Get out there. Play hockey, football, baseball, whatever the sports were. Like it would change every few weeks, right? In gym class. Yeah. You have to learn all the rules or you're an idiot. Dodgeball. I hated dodgeball.
You did? I loved dodgeball. I loved it. That was like my favorite. I was awful at it.
I wasn't an athlete when I was young and playing that. So it just seemed like a bully kind of game, really. I don't know.
I could dodge great. I could never throw the ball great. Mm-hmm. I would never get anybody out. I could always avoid the ball, but
I'm thinking like 4th or 5th grade. Crazy. But anyway, yeah, that's every class. Why are we talking about that? Class?
I don't know, because we're talking about choir and kids being forced into doing stuff. Yeah. I guess in a way it's good. Like, oh, try the instrument out. Try playing an instrument and see if you like it. And if you don't like it, then don't do it anymore. But like, oh, try playing a sport. Get involved in the team environment and see how that is for you. And if you don't like it, play it for the year and get out of it. I don't know.
Why not try that? Put that in your mouth. See if you're gay.
Yeah, try that out. If you like it, keep it in there.
Yeah. I mean, is that a valid point or no? Like you're just saying, like throw everything at him and like, hey, try it. Hey, drop your pants. You might like this. You don't know.
Okay, well, maybe not that. Definitely not that.
Oh, but I'm just saying, like, where do you draw the line? Like, if there's a lot of shit that I didn't want to do and I hated, it was like, oh God, I gotta go to sewing class. You know what I mean? I don't sew. So
I guess it's a fair point though, because it's just like if you really don't want to do it and you're forced to do it, are you really going to be that into doing it after the fact? Like, maybe, but I don't know. It's just like if it's not for you, it's not. Usually, kids get interested in something, and then they want to do it, and then they're like, "Okay, try it out. If you like it, then do it." But you got to commit to it or something. I don't know.
Well, I know you still like to cut up your construction paper and make little paper maches and stuff, and for your little home projects hanging up on the wall behind you and stuff.
Yes.
A lot of people don't do that no more when they're adults.
No. That's true. Construction paper kind of falls to the wayside when you get out of elementary school. I used to love doing that though as a kid, like making Valentines and all that stuff.
I know you did.
Thanks. I think we got all the super chats. I think that was it for the super chats. Did you have any of the 5 recommendations this week, Rob?
Yeah, I'm gonna recommend 5 mobsters for people that are interested all in checking out some mobsters. These are definitely not obscure names, but they're not mainstream names that have had a lot of spotlight on them. So you may or may not know them. If you do, then you know a little bit more than probably the average person who wouldn't know these names at all. But just if you feel like it and you want to take RVD's recommendation, check out these 5 mobsters that I find interesting, and I'm recommending them because I think that you will find their stories and their personas very interesting too.
All right.
Yep. So let me see. I'm gonna start with this guy. Sam. See this?
Oh yes. Oh, I like it, Rob.
Di Stefano.
Oh.
All right. Mad Sam, we call him in the mafia lore. Mad Sam Di Stefano. If you check him out, this guy had a lot of power for not even being a made man, but he was definitely a high associate of the Chicago outfit, and quite an interesting character. He liked to kill people in very violent ways and torture them when they owed him money.
Whoa.
And fascinating stories from Mad Sam Di Stefano in Chicago. Okay, another guy is Marshall. Is there 2 L's in Marshall?
Yeah, typically.
Marshall Caifano. See, this is like high tech, like a digital backboard back there.
I like it. Yeah.
Fucking boom.
Yeah, that's a neat spin to it, Rob.
Yeah, Marshall Caifano, also an associate of Chicago, but this guy, you very well may have not heard of him. Very interesting and violent man, and he was the enforcer here in Las Vegas, on and off when Johnny Rosselli did his time here, and he's from Chicago with he covered quite a few years, but he came down here when Sam Giancana was the boss, and just look this guy up. He had gun and was not afraid to use it.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah. And then let's see, that's 2. I want to say this name. You may have heard of him or maybe not, because he has had like some bios or documentaries on him. But anyway, they all have books, by the way. But Tommy Patera. Nope, Tommy Patera.
Tommy Patera.
Yep. Tommy Karate Patera.
Karate.
Yep. Dude went to Japan and learned how to fight and learned martial arts and shit, and came back and hurt a lot of people as an enforcer for the Bonanno crime family in New York. And he worked his way up and got some leverage and had a lot of people afraid of him. And he seemed to like killing people. And he would chop them up afterwards, put them in suitcases, and then go bury them in this bird sanctuary land in Staten Island. And when someone flipped on him, and they went and they dug up around there, they were surprised to see that that was his go-to thing. But he's still alive. He's in jail. Tommy Patera. I think his book is called The Butcher. Is that right? Tommy Patera, The Butcher. I think it is. That sounds right. Sam DiStefano. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking up.
Okay. This guy, again, not obscure, but not mainstream. Jimmy Fratiano.
Oh, I never heard of him. Jimmy Fratiano.
Jimmy Fratiano was known as the Weasel.
Oh, what a nickname.
Jimmy the Weasel Fratiano. Yeah, very interesting character. He traveled a lot. He was from Cleveland, ended up being a acting boss of the Los Angeles crime family for a little bit. He was there during the heyday. And one thing about Jimmy Fratiano, it's weird how they all have different ways that they use that becomes their go-to way of killing people, victims. Yeah, like they seem to stick with a way, like if they shoot them in the back of the head or if they choke them or whatever. I erased it. Who were we talking about? Jimmy Fratiano. They would do something. Jimmy Fratiano, he would do something where 2 people know about it, you and I know about it, and get the guy in the middle and like toss you a rope. And the rope, when we both pull on it, it tightens around the guy's neck. And then we're both pulling on it like tug of war while it's squeezing around the guy's neck in the middle. And that's how they would fucking kill. That was like his go-to. Like,
holy shit.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Like Mafia Olympics.
Yeah.
Dang. Olympic Games for the Mafia.
Some people used knives, and slice their throat afterwards, or just 2 in the back of the head, whatever. But all right, that's 4. I got one more.
All right.
One more not mainstream mobster that I think you'll find interesting.
Okay.
And that is Mr. Ken Ito. He's Japanese, so obviously he can't actually be a member of the mafia, but he makes them a lot of money. He's an associate. And Mr. Ito's nickname is Mr. Tokyo.
Oh, easy enough.
Yeah. Mr. Tokyo, Ken Ito. Just like most of these guys, you can read about them. You can watch documentaries, whatever. There's information on all these recommendations. And this guy made a lot of money for them in Chicago. And as soon as he gets in a little trouble, Chicago outfit, they're afraid he's going to flip. Why take a chance? Fucking boom, let's kill him. And it's so crazy how they do that to the most loyal workers that sacrifice their lives. And a lot of them would never tell, but they're like, why take a chance? It's like in a casino, they'd say that, why take a chance? So when they're all voting on, he's a good kid, he'll never tell. What do you think? We can trust him. He's just like his dad. What do you think? And he's like, why take a chance? At least that's what I think. That's like, it's amazing, but these people really live holding that power in their hand and believing that they're entitled to it. That's part of what's fascinating to me about all these guys. I don't want to be like them or live like them. Anyway, Canito, he's hot. So they're not going to take a chance that he's going to flip. So they shoot him in the back of the head from the back seat of the car. They tell him, hey, park here, puts it in park. Boom, boom, boom. Fucking drop him on the driver's seat. And then they get out and they leave. And then a little bit later, after he's sure they're gone, Mr. Tokyo picks his head up and says, fuck. And then runs and gets help. And he survived.
He survived?
Yep.
What?
From that close up, the gun right in his fucking head.
Holy shit.
And now he's going to flip.
Yeah.
In fact, there's footage of him when in court, when he's testifying. He has like a paper bag on his head or something to conceal his identity at that point. But yeah, he's one of those guys. I can give you a list of 5 guys next week that have survived getting shot in the head, like John Vesey.
I'm seeing pictures of Ken right now with the headband on and like his mug shot. Yeah, craziness. Wow.
That's one sure way to turn a friend into an enemy is try to kill them.
Try to kill them, then we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, see how they hold up for you after that. Pete Kyoto's another one, and he was fat, like almost 500 pounds or something, and that's what saved him. But he got shot, I think, 12 times when they tried to kill him.
Holy shit!
And ended up being okay. So then they killed his sister.
Oh man, that's
the cases.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Villain asks you, what made you pick those 5 in particular?
I really just wanted to come up with a list, and those 5. I thought of 5 that would be really interesting if somebody was curious about mobster lore and they didn't know that much, or even if they do, but I was thinking about people that don't know that much, that would just want to know, like, what would be interesting, who would, maybe be like really interesting to somebody, even if they're not a mob archaeologist that tracks down the facts and dates and stuff. Those 5 guys, I just think they just stood out as 5 guys that I have found their stories to be insightful, really interesting, and cover a big span of life as we know it, and affected it in ways that we didn't know they affected it.
Yeah.
The same life we're living. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, okay, so if you had to pick one of those 5 to have a movie made about him, which one would you pick if you had your choice?
Maybe Marshall Caifano, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. I already no, maybe Tommy Patera, because either one. The thing with Marshall Caifano is just that it would be dated because he was around in the 50s and 60s. And I think of him as being almost like the Wild West, like gunslinging cowboy kind of like enforcer. And Tommy Patera, that's Brooklyn, like our lifetime a few decades ago. Tommy's still in jail right now. Tommy's alive, but that one could be more horrifying. You know what I mean? Like the things he did, like the guy his friend that it's not Nino Gadji, but something Gadji, because Nino Gadji's the DeMeo guy, but Gadji, he ended up flipping on him in the end, and then tells like all the secrets and stuff. But that guy couldn't take it. Like he was like throwing up and stuff. Like whenever he would leave him, and he'd make him chop bodies up and hang it in the bathtub, and he had a girlfriend that would do drugs with this other girl, and he told the other girl, stay the fuck away from her. You know, I don't want to see you anywhere near her. You're a bad influence. Well, his girl dies, so he's hunting this girl down, finds her in bed, kills her, takes her head off, and then he kept her head for a while.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit! This was Patera, Tommy Patera.
Yeah, so that would make a really interesting movie as far as like shocking and brutal. You know, Marshall Cafano too, though, was he killed a lot of people, and one guy that testified against him, and he did, I think, 15 years or something, and got out, and then couldn't wait to fucking hunt him down and kill him, which he did. And Tony Accardo, I guess, told him he couldn't do it in Palm Springs because no murders there because everybody lives there, but mobsters and movie stars for some reason all used to live there in Palm Springs, and he wanted to do it there. But anyway, he was a guy that an oil guy that fucking testified against him and put him in jail, and he fucking couldn't wait afterwards. Fucking boom, fucking. But anyway, Marshall Cafano, yeah, just look them up. These guys they have really interesting stories.
Well, I wrote the list down too, and I'll be sure to make a clip of this one.
If you want, yeah. If not, then whatever. I was just trying to think of something that would be interesting to me. It might be to you.
I think that's really cool. You named all those guys. I didn't know any of their names, so I learned about them. So I'll have to do some research on them. That's cool shit. Yeah. Jimmy the Weasel, Sam DiStefano, Marshall Cafana, and Tommy Karate Patera, as well as Ken Ito, Mr. Tokyo. Check him out. So
Sam DiStefano had a torture chamber in his basement.
Good call.
And he would bring people that owed him money. That was his deal, was he would loan people money at an extraordinary rate, and they wouldn't be able to pay it back because I can't remember if it was like 20% a week they got to pay back on the base or something. Anyway, he has two brothers originally. One brother, Mario DiStefano, is also a mobster, and then they have another brother. Can't remember his name right now, but that guy ends up being a liability because he's a druggie, and they can't get him off drugs and stuff. So Mario and Sam go ahead and take out their brother.
What?
Kill him. Damn. And then later in life, Mario DiStefano and Tony Spilatro kill Sam DiStefano.
Whoa.
So Mario killed both his brothers. Isn't that crazy?
Both his brothers.
Yeah.
Tony Spilatro, where have I heard that name before?
Joe Pesci plays him in Casino. They call the character Nicky Santoro, but that's Tony Spilatro.
Gotcha.
And he was a prodigy of Sam DiStefano, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Dang. Okay. Wow. What wild stuff.
Yeah.
Before we move off the mafia, I did want to mention too, Ricky Dozan, the wrestler, right? He got killed by the Yakuza, didn't he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forget what the story is. His daughter is the one that would book me for Noah.
Okay.
And she told me about it, but I can't remember why or if she even knew. I can't remember what the story is behind that.
He wasn't even Japanese though. He was like some other descent, I think, but he was so popular like earlier, and he was one of the like bigger wrestlers before.
I didn't know he wasn't Japanese.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not Japanese.
Alexa, was Ricky Doza Japanese? See if she knows who that is.
Ricky Doza, known as Rikido-san, was Korean Japanese.
Korean
He was
Japanese.
born
Korean
in
Japanese.
Rock in Korea, but became a Japanese citizen and took the name Mitsuhiro Momota.
There we
So
go.
he had the wrestling company there, and then after he died, Baba and Inoki split up, and then that became All Japan and New Japan for the fans that don't know.
Yeah. Very interesting backstory to the Japanese wrestling world for sure.
I saw his daughter. I think it was at WrestleCon last year.
Really?
Not that long ago. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, such a legendary aspect of the business is that too, for sure. Man.
Alexa, why did the mafia kill Ricky Doza?
Rikido-san was stabbed by a Yakuza member after an altercation in a Tokyo nightclub on December 8, 1963. His connections to organized crime likely played a role in the incident.
Maybe. Sounds
Have
brand.
to look it up. Yeah, it's not- yeah. Jeepers. Have to look that up a little bit more. I have a neat book. It was called the Comic Book History of Pro Wrestling. And it's really, I had reviewed it for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and it taught me a whole bunch of that backstory when it came to Ricky Dozan and all areas of the wrestling. And so I thought that I've always kind of been fascinated by that aspect of it too. So it's neat to learn about that.
Yeah. Sounds kind of similar in some ways to Bruiser Brody's death.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that was in the dressing room shower, not in a nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
It is thought of as being not just a one-on-one issue that was solved that night, maybe.
Yeah, because oh my gosh, who was the person that stabbed him? I can't remember. It was something too.
Jose Gonzalez.
Yes. What was his gimmick name? He had like the
Invader.
Invader. That's what it was. The Invader. Because Bruiser, he was rough with him, and like he took liberties with him, and then Invader got angry about it, and
hey, baby. I don't know, dude. That is one of the stories. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Katie?
Hey,
How's it going?
good.
Hey, I like the shirt. That's the NXT one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
NXT what shirt?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yep. Your
Cool.
NXT shirt that they had.
I
That's
love
sweet.
you.
I love you.
That's what I said. Super Crazy was there Saturday too.
Really?
Yeah, at the San Jose hockey game. There was a wrestling ring out in the parking lot, and they did a little show. I say little because I think there was only like 3 matches or something. But I was inside signing at the same time, so I didn't get to see it. But I was in the dressing room when I saw Crazy, and I Super Crazy, te amo.
He was great too. I love Super Crazy.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Katie, how's the babies?
Good. I was just spending time with Saba at the hospital.
Yeah.
Karma's doing great at home.
That's awesome. I was telling Rob before we were recording, I was like, I saw the picture of you guys and you holding them and stuff like that. They're so tiny.
Yeah, they are.
So tiny.
I know, next to his hand, it's like even without his hand being there, but his hand gives them a size reference. Like their fingers are like this long.
Yeah.
He's so cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah, they're
No,
doing some.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. So, oh man. Well, yeah, it's been a fun episode. Oh, here we go. Somebody dropped a super chat. Gem the Dawn. What's up, Rob? Hope you and Katie and the kids are doing good. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Jam. We're doing awesome.
doing awesome.
Yeah, everything else is good, dude.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Think we're good
Yeah.
for another week.
Yeah, we're good for another week. Did you oh, real quick, Maddie asked you this. Has RVD been mistaken for someone besides the obvious? I think he means Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Brett Michaels.
Brett Michaels? Really?
Yeah. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis too.
I don't know if they were serious or not, but I've heard someone say that.
I can see it though.
And the one that's the most hardest to believe, this guy was so confused one time at a gas station. This was probably like 2008-ish. It was a long time ago. But this one dude says to me, he was all excited, when I was there, and he was like, "Man," he goes, I love your 5-time frog splash."
It's like they get excited and their memory just starts jumbling everything together.
Yeah, I was like, damn, ain't nobody mistaken me for Booker T before.
That would be a good double team finisher name for you too, though.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot though.
Yeah.
Katie, have you been mistaken for anybody?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
What about
Do you think so?
Someone asked if you were the girl on the poster?
Oh yeah, yeah. The driver when we were at WrestleMania said, "Is that you?" And it was a big poster of Nia Jax. Yeah,
that's hilarious. Well, cool. Yeah, we'll do this next week. This was a fun one, Rob. It was good stuff covering all the mafia stuff. Learn about Stan Hansen some more. It's real good times.
Yeah. Put those mobsters on your list. Your never-ending list of stuff you're gonna look up someday.
Jim the Don asked real quick, can you do a spin-a-rooney?
What's that?
Can you do a spin-a-rooney?
No.
Have you tried?
I tried without studying it. I'm sure if I studied it for 5 minutes, I feel pretty sure that I could do it. But right now, if I was given a test and not allowed to look at it, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah, that'd be a difficult one, I think, to prove. Yeah,
he put me on the spot one night in front of everybody.
Oh,
that's just something Booker was doing for a while. It was having fun. Like whenever he would tag with somebody, he'll come on, everybody, let's come on, let's see the spin-a-rooney, RVD. He's got everyone and chatting and. He said mine was the worst one he's ever seen.
Is this like where we could find proof of it, or is it like a live show?
No, it's like a house show.
Okay.
I think there's footage. There might be footage of like him having the Undertaker try to do it or something.
Yeah.
That before.
Yeah. I feel like if I studied it for a minute, but it's not something naturally that I can just do and move everything the right way.
Yeah. That'd be the tough thing.
Not without being shown or studying it.
No doubt, right? Well, maybe next week we can try it out.
Yeah. Usually
wait till next week, everybody.
I wanted to add a dancing segment to the show.
Yeah. We'll get the 5 recommendations and then the dance off, the RVD dance off. Got going down.
That'd be funny.
All right. We're presented by Happy Hippo. Everybody check them out. RVD 2026 is the code. Got some good product behind me there.
Hippo.
Right there. Shout out to Happy Hippo. Thanks. Them RVD420.com. Some good glassware going down too. Yeah. Shout out Happy Hippo indeed.
Hippos don't
move.
No, I was waiting for someone to catch that.
So there we go. All right, Rob, this has been fun. Katie.
Thanks, Van Dam fam. Thanks, Dom. Peace out, hoes.
Bye, y'all.
Peace out.
Week.
We'll see you guys next time here on One of a Kind with RVD and KT.